Okay. Good day, good day. It feels strange to be back. I'm not gonna say good, but I'm gonna say strange because it is strange. Well, welcome. Welcome to me back. It's currently 9, it's nearly 10 a.m. And as you can probably see, this is a pretty huge change in scenery. I'm gonna get into that later in the video. Um, I've been contemplating posting this video now or not posting it at all, recording it and posting it. As I said, it's currently nearly 10 a.m. It's 9:55. Let's consider it 10 a.m. 10 a.m. the 8th of January 2026. My last video was in November, I think. Yeah, it was in November. November some 13th or something like that. It was back then, before I changed countries, before I changed continents. I am 35,000 kilometers away from the place that identified me for who I am or who I was for the past 19 years. For the new viewers, welcome. My name is Ayub. I am 19 years old and I am now officially a Russian student. I am in Russia. As I said, I am 35,000 kilometers away from home. Um, yeah, it's finally came true. I've been saying that this would come to be true ever since last year, really. But that never really happened last year because of stuff. And this year, it finally did, as you can see. And I don't really know how to feel about it. There's like mixed emotions of sorts, like all mixed emotions. I'd say I'd say it's really really hard just because, you're away from, as I said, your family, your existence, everything that defined you for who you were. Everything of that sorts has been sort of taken away from you, and all that you have left is really really yourself and God. Those are the only two that you have. Besides them, you don't really have anybody because no one really understands you here. That's one. Besides the language barrier, which is obviously fucking true, no one really understands you. Um, and second, you're really, really far away. The closest you're gonna get into a real human felt connection. Alhamdulillah. As I was saying, the really closest thing you're gonna get to, like, your the humans that you are used to, closest thing you're gonna get to that is a call through like Telegram or something because everything is blocked here. We have to use VPN basically. And yeah, I haven't uploaded in God knows how much. But yeah, this is the room I'm currently in. I like to be honest and clear about stuff. I'm gonna show you the view in a second. That is not my bed. That is my bed. Okay. And truth be said, I never fold the the blanket. I did today for the video, and this is the weather for the day. It's been like this for the past like 10 or 15 or I don't know how many days really, but it's been like this for the majority of time. So yeah, I was gonna name this video he come back or something. I don't really know what I was gonna name this, really. I forgot. I had notions, then I forgot. But if I am going to name it, I'm gonna name it Lost, because this is the most lost I've ever felt in my whole life. This is the most lonely, lost, mm, um, I don't know, just those emotions I've ever felt in my life. Those emotions weren't really stranger to me, but they now feel like 1 gazillion times more stronger. Because back then, to the place where I used to live, I could feel all of these emotions. I could soak them in. I could really leave them in. Then I get to like go outside and see my friends, for example, see my family, and all of a sudden, they're not my top priority. I do not exist in my head anymore for that time being. Then I like go alone, and you when you go alone, you're gonna get you're gonna get met with these thoughts again. All of my roommates are Russian. They do not study with me in the same university. Each are their own. Each do their own thing. For example, this on the top bed, he goes to university for acting school. This for the bunk bed here. Yeah, the lower bed here. He does math, I think, or physics, something like that, something sciencey. That other dude, I don't really know. And I look insane. I know the hair and stuff. I look pretty insane, but doesn't really matter, does it? This isn't a video for advice. If it's anything, it's rather me deloading things that I wanted to say. For the past couple of weeks, it's been a month. I came here. I first landed into Russia on the 5th of December. I came to St. Petersburg. I am in St. Petersburg on the 7th. Ever since the 7th of December, ever since I've been here. And I've gotta say, the first week was the hardest. I mean, it's still hard to this day. The first week was the hardest. I couldn't really come to fathom the reality of things, and everything was moving so fast. Life was lifing so much. I couldn't really sit down and like sit down with my thoughts really until the holiday came. It's been ever since we got a short holiday from the 31st to the 8th. I have school later here today. We're gonna go back to school. It's on 2 p.m. 2 p.m. I think until 6 p.m. 4 hours, I believe. Anyway, the first week was the hardest because obviously I'm not used to the country. I'm not used to anything here. But I am not the first one who came. I'm not the first one who went abroad. I'm not the first person who felt homesickness, not really because of homesickness, but because of the familiarity that your home gave you, the identity that felt so real to you. Like now you have to build everything from the zero, ground up, and I'm used to building new stuff, but not like this. Now when I'm Now when I'm not given the raw materials, like I have to. Now I have to succeed. You can see the effects have never been greater. What's been wasted on me to get here is unfathomable in my hometown, in my country. It really takes a lot to get your son slash daughter slash yourself to go study abroad. It's an unfathomable amount of money, and it comes with a lot of pressure, a lot of guilt. That's one. And second, oh my god, man. The sheer amount of loneliness you feel from all of this, god damn, man. I have someone I know here. He's Egyptian. He's Arab. He's Egyptian. He's been in Russia for the past 3 years. He knows how. He knows stuff. He knows Russian. He learns stuff. He's in medical school. I am. This is my preparatory year. I only learn Russian, and then I get to choose what I want to do. Right. He's in medical school, and so I told him yesterday. I don't know how. I told him, and it's really true. Like each day, every day, I get these times where I feel like I'm gonna fucking trim my hair off of my head. And other times, I'm so grateful. You know, the duality is insane. And the transition between the two is like unfelt. It's like it, it changes drastically just in 1 second like that. And I told him, and he told me he cried. He cries every now and then, especially in his first months. And I related to that because my first week, I remember crying 4 times, 4 or 3 times. I haven't cried since, but my first week, in the first 2 days, I think, or something like that, I cried like 4 times or something. One with like a call with my mother. Like I was starting to tear up, then I hung up, then I cried like a real human being. But ever since, really, I haven't really cried because there's really no point. Although there's like, I don't really know. I'm not in a position where I can tell you cry or do not cry. No one's going to save you. This is the first thing you realize. No one's going to save your ass. I mean, I always knew that, but now I feel it. It's like now I feel it. Now I see the stakes of the thing. As I said, I feel lost. Then I suppose my speech shows that because I'm jumping from one point to another. I'm not as articulate as I once used to be. And that's really okay because I don't really mind that anymore. I know it's hard. I know that getting back is hard. I mean, I imagined like me dropping my first video here would be so delightful. Oh, come with me visit Russia, blah blah blah. No, someone else is gonna do that. I'm gonna probably do that, but in due time, but not now, right? So yeah, basically, I feel very fucking lost, like very lost, and I feel very insecure because the walls are so thin, and I'm in a hostel, and I think that people are hearing me, and I'm not really comfortable with that thought. So that's that. Yeah. Besides, I am okay. The the longer I try to deny the fact that I'm not, is the worse it's gonna be. I am okay. I am okay. Just mentally, I am in a liminal space where I cannot exit my head. In the meaning of, I don't really know. The meaning of, I don't know, man. cannot exit my head. I do not want to live like this, you know? I've always spoke to you about this. I'm talking to myself, by the way. I always talk to you. This is a documentary for myself and for whomever who sees it and relates. You, yeah, I'll be glad to have you. But you always knew, you always know that I do not want to live like this. Not like this, not like anything like this. I do not want to go to school. I do not want to graduate. Maybe it'll be good to have, but I don't want the pressure, the added. I don't want the added exhaustion of it. I'm not gonna be a doctor. I'm not gonna be a pilot. I'm not gonna be this. I'm not gonna be that. Because that's not my plan. That's not where I'm headed. That's not how I want to spend my life. Although those careers are good, they're decent, they're respectable. I respect them a lot. I don't want to do that. You might ask, why would you want to come if you're not gonna be working with what you've learned in school? Why would you waste your parents' money? I'd say I lied. Okay? I lied. I always knew I lied. Okay? I never really lied. I'm like, okay, I can study, I can go through school, but I'm never really gonna work in that industry. I'm never really gonna work in that field. I always knew that. I just never said it. And no one really asked because they assumed that I do. Yeah, besides, that's not the life I want to live. Like last night was one of the first nights in my life that I went to bed at 1 a.m. and I couldn't really sleep. Like, I wasn't on the phone. I'm usually on the phone. Plus, I got a new phone. And congratulations. I got a new phone. That's besides my point. I'm usually on the phone. But last night I was not. I put the phone down because I knew I was going to be waking up early to record this video. But I really couldn't sleep until like 2:30, 2:40 a.m. My head was pinging around, thinking about stuff I would say in the video, thinking about stuff I would do, thinking about the future, because I always think about the future. It's just the nature of who I am as a person. Like, I always think, I always try to think of the future because I don't really know why, but it sort of gives certainty in a way. Not really, but I like thinking about the future for whatever reason it may be, right? And yeah, so I basically was up all night. Well, not all night, up for that hour. I was really tired. I couldn't really sleep. I guess the point of what I'm trying to say is that the feeling of aimlessness you feel, I don't think that ever goes away. And there's proof of it because people who made it in life always tell you that feeling never really goes away. You just make more money or are surrounded by more people who will make less room for you to feel that feeling. And I guess that's the paradox of life. We always want more. We always want the next thing. And I never really soaked this up, this like the life I'm living right now. Like I never dressed better, I never eaten better, I never smelled better. Besides my hair, I never looked better. I think I don't really know. So I never really soaked this in. I don't think I have been grateful for the opportunity that I was given, like at all whatsoever. And I think that's just very, very cruel of me to do, to deny the grace of God like this. I don't know. Is this ever going to get better? I don't really know. Do I know what I need to do in the future? I don't really know. Do I have a feeling that I'm gonna make it in life? Obviously, certainly. I've always felt that way. I've always been better with words. And so, I bought a copybook and I started writing back. Like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 20 pages, that's 20 papers, that's like 40 pages. I've never written like this in my life. I mean, the consistency and the weight of it. I never did that in my life, and I guess I'm just feeling a lot of things all at once. And so I started pouring them all into paper because, as I said, I've always been better with words. Not really with words. I've always been better with like writing, not speaking. But I need to, you know, correct and enhance my speech as well. I'm not. I was gonna read you something or two, but I'm not, just because. Yeah. Anyway, this has been my first video back. I hope this goes well because I'm gonna probably record another video and upload it something in the next few other days, just because, and I need to. And yeah, really, take care. See you in the next one, whenever that might be. Goodbye.